Hey guys, MC Mura here, and today we're gonna take a look at our buddy Zangief. He's one of the most popular Street Fighter characters in general. People love Zangief. I feel like everyone loves him. Maybe you hate fighting against him, or maybe you love grapplers and you absolutely love Zangief. But this character have been having a roller coaster ride with Street Fighter 6. Because remember, when the game first came out, Zangief was awful, and then season 2 came around, they gave him a bunch of buffs, he became great, and ever since season 2 he's been getting nerfed with almost every patch. But most recently I've been starting to see some changes with Zangief. So today we're gonna talk about what's actually going on with Zangief and Zangief players. If you actually check out the patch notes for season 3, there wasn't that much for Zangief, not many changes, like some universal changes, some stuff here and there, a change to the grab, but the big one that we really talked about was the change to the hurt box. And as I mentioned it, like Zangief got fatter, pretty much now he's wider, so yeah, he got fatter, right? But this was like one of these changes that is kind of hard to judge. We had to play it out to get a feel on how the character is shaping up to be. And upon seeing a lot of the results, playing a lot with this patch, and talking to many players who use Zangief, I'm starting to feel like confidence with Zangief is going down a little bit. I'm not talking about the character being weak, this is not a tier list, this is not Zangief is low tier, none of that, but we need to discuss like what actually happened, because the change to the hurt box, it ended up being like a pretty significant one. But let's talk about like the results first, right? So this is the results for the mix-up. Obviously, very special thanks to Cat Kami, who's always like the savior when it comes to stats. But yeah, top 32 for the mix-ups. This is the most recent event. Obviously, Ken dominance, we all know that. But there wasn't like a single Zangief in top 32, which is surprising to me because there is like a couple of really strong Zangiefs in Europe, right? But none of them made it. But you know, there are a bunch of other characters that didn't make it. Or you know what? That's fine. This one is really surprising. This is the final stage of Tobanga, and if you know, you know, Japan rates Zangief highly, like they are terrorized by Zangief over there. And with the final stage, there was no Zangiefs. There's a ton of Zangiefs in Japan, right? Itabashi, Junior, there is Kubon, I think. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah, there is a ton, but none made it. But you know what's interesting about this championship is when you check out like the earlier stages, the beginning stage, the blue division, you will notice that Junior was first place. Like he won this round robin, he was like at first place. That was insane. But that happened June 4th, and prior, that happened just before the batch. And after the batch had dropped, Junior came last in the advanced stage and obviously got eliminated, so he didn't make it any further. So the performance definitely took a little bit of a hit, right? But I mean, this is still Zangief. He still have the 40% I am almighty. If you happen to throw a fireball at Zangief, he still have that obnoxiously annoying standing heavy punch that makes it really hard. He still have a ton of damage. So what happened? Like, why is Zangief not performing? Seems like maybe initially as much as you would expect. And the first change is really like the hurt box change. Because Zangief got wider, this had a ton of ramifications. There is now characters who don't typically have throw loops, but they have throw loops on Zangief. Case in point, a character like Chun-Li. Chun-Li do have a legit corner throw loop versus Zangief, right? Where she can just walk up and throw loop him. Guile also now, who needs a drive rush typically, have a throw loop on Zangief. Lily now have a throw loop on Zangief, right? Ed, a character who doesn't have a throw loop on anyone else, now have a throw loop on Zangief, right? Because he's wider, he's easier to grab, right? You can grab him from a further distance, so these characters are now getting throw loops on him, something that you can't do with the rest of the roster, right? Now, before someone gets me with the actually, I mean, yes, technically some characters like Chun-Li can get a throw loop on like some of the bigger bodies like Honda for example, but it's like 1 frame window on these big bodies, while it's like a 3 frame window on Zangief, making it a lot easier and a lot more practical. Hi there and welcome to my world, welcome to my mansion where me and my friends the EX-Men gather. We're still looking for Wolverine, we haven't found him yet, and apparently in my universe Psylocke and Rogue are identical twins as well. It's crazy. If you've been liking the video but you haven't subscribed yet, and please consider subscribing, it would help the channel a lot, and maybe we would find Wolverine one day. I think that will be pretty cool. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of your video. More practical. And you have to remember that in a prior patch, Capcom took away the jump cancel air SPD. This was like one of the main defensive options that Zangief had. They took it in a prior patch, so now he gets more oppressed than any other character in the roster once he gets knocked down. Now, I mean, I'm gonna call this spade a spade. I mean, Zangief crouching light kick, this is still probably like one of the best, if not the best, like 4-framer. It's a low, it got insane range. So for interruption it's still really good, right? But yeah, I mean, life is difficult, and I mean, we all know, right? Like Zangief doesn't have an invulnerable like level 1 super, so like he can't really get out of the way with something like this, right? So he have to rely on like level 2, he have to rely on his level 3, which level 3 is a tremendous reversal, but yeah, Zangief now effectively have like the worst defense in this game. He does have some like interesting unique options, like for example he does have like the heavy punch, which does have armor, so he kind of like have some defense against DI, but it's obviously gonna depend on like what you can do. But yeah, so his defense is effectively a lot weaker. He's now much more oppressed with throw loops, right? But his neutral also took a big hit. And the main reason that Zangief's neutral took a big hit is, like I said, because he's now a little bit wider, almost everyone have a little bit more range against Zangief. And the result of that is that some of his moves that used to outrange some of the members of the roster are now like he loses it now. Like say that in this distance I'm trying to hit Chun-Li with a medium punch, it's gonna whiff, while Chun-Li's will probably like connect, right? Chun-Li will have a little bit more Akuma's a medium kick with Akuma's medium kick, right? There are these situations where Zangief had a little bit more range, but now the opponent have a little bit more range than him. And for a character that is kind of like big, slow, and the idea is he's like a boxing kind of character where like he boxes you, outrange you with a little bit of his moves. The fact that many of the roster now outrange him, that is kind of an issue. I even saw a video where from Veggie, I will leave a link to it in the description, where like Luke crouching medium kick now is longer than his standing medium punch, which yeah, that is a little bit difficult for him. The final major change to Zangief, which honestly is very significant, it's something that changed most of the game, but for Zangief I feel like it's extra relevant. It is obviously like the changes to parries, because parries used to be like the strongest defensive options, and I do think Zangief was one of the better user of parry. Obviously like he could parry you, get like the positional advantage, but maybe just parry and get like the SPD, which did a lot of damage, and he could get Oki out of that, so that wasn't too bad. But it gave him like a very strong defensive option against anyone that could turn the momentum heavily in his favor, right? And even if he got like, I think this used to give him like a setup as well, where he got in like a safe jump. I think you had to manually time it, but I'm pretty sure it was possible, right? Yeah, there was like kind of like a safe jump or something like that, right? So this is a situation that was entirely made possible because of perfect parries, right? But now because perfect parries is weaker, because you have to guess between like a mid or a low, and they're happening much less frequently, I feel like that significantly hurt Zangief, right? Because this was one of the best ways for him to turn the momentum around. I still think his neutral is good, but like everyone having more range than him, that definitely kind of hurt Like, what I get a lot from Zangief players is that he doesn't feel as good anymore, right? Where, like, it feels weird when they get hit at situation where they wouldn't. There is a bunch of other things about him that are now different. Like, for example, after forward heavy punch, there is now more pushback. This used to leave him at throw range, now it doesn't. There is this situation where this used to give you like a meaty hop, but now it doesn't. Obviously, the character still is insane, and Zangief still does have like stupid stuff about him. Like, you're still in Street Fighter 6 and he's still able to do like YOLO Drive Rush into my loyal fans and give you like 50%, but it is obvious that Zangief have changed, right? And the game have changed around him a little bit. And I do feel personally that he's a little bit weaker now than he used to. He definitely took a hit with this season. Are Zangief players still gonna perform? How bad are the changes really? We're gonna have to wait and see. But my initial impressions is that, yeah, maybe he's a little bit weaker. What are your thoughts? If you're a Zangief player, what are your thoughts on the changes to Zangief and how everything is shaping up to be? I would love to hear all about it in the comment section below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.